Il est en retard, comme tu dis là.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of La Presse for Fellow Match right here on Spectrum Television. Well, I'm elated every time it's Tuesday because I know it's an opportunity for me to talk local football and host a panelist of fine brains to discuss everything happening in Cameroon's local championship. The MTN Elite 1 championship is done and dusted alongside the Elite 2, and it's time for us to talk about the Cup of Cameroon. Well, the round of 32 opens tomorrow with quite some exciting fixtures. Well, today with my guest, I will be looking at, favorites of this championship for Football Club of Baham, who are title holders. We talk about 10 times winners of the Cup of Cameroon, Canong Sportive, who will be playing in Douala tomorrow, and also another interesting one, Coton Sport of Garoua. And how can I leave out, league winners Victoria United? It's going to be an interesting phase to see who succeeds for the Football Club of Baham. Well, with me in the studio and to talk about the Cup of Cameroon alongside every other thing happening in the world of football in the Cameroon or across regions, it's none other. I'd start first with the lady, giving honor to whom honor is due, the lady on the panel. I mean, this is the first time we've had a woman with us, so it's always it will be right for me to start with you, Magdala Eyong. Good evening.
Good evening, Ladonette. Good evening to my fellow co-panelists, and good evening to you all televiewers of course, STV. I was about to call my television, so permit me to at least. I did not do it, Lado. I'm grateful that you had me and gave me the opportunity to be on this platform today.
Well, I would always say I am grateful because, like I said, it's very, very, difficult to find a woman that is willing to talk about sports. And I have been calling you all the time. Due to the fact that you were presenting the news, she is a hot cake. We could not get her that time. We could not get her at that time because she was presenting the news. She works for My Media Prime. I mean, one of the finest sports lady in Cameroon and in Africa. And so I'm obviously happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And you're also from the Southwest region, and we'll talk about a lot of Southwest regional teams that are in the round of 32.
Exactly, and we have just tomorrow to witness those games right here in the nation's economic capital.
So where will you be? Douala, or you're moving down to?
I think I would want to be here because we have 2 games here and just one in Boya. So we are going to have others represent journalists in the Southwest region out there at the Omnisport Stadium in Boya. So I think I would have to wait for Senior Dev, of course, and Talented right here.
Yeah, Talented FA of Muyuka. Well, Canong Sportive's coach had a lot to say about that team, which we will find out in the course of the show. Now, let me flip it over to the table. Quand je vois Tanong, je dois parler en français. Mon français doit améliorer. Tanong Sizono Steven, Cup of Cameroon winner with New Stars back in 2017, goalkeeper for UMS of Loom this season. Unfortunately, UMS of Loom is not playing the Cup of Cameroon, and we've obviously talked about what has been happening with this side. They missed out of it last season, and so they were banned from this season. But Tanong is here as one who has won the Cup of Cameroon, so he knows what it feels to win this very prestigious trophy. So it's time for us to talk to Tanong Sizono, but it's time for us to talk to Tanong. Tanong.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir et bienvenue.
Merci. Bonsoir tout le monde sur le plateau. Et bonsoir ceux qui nous regardent. C'est un plaisir pour moi d'être là. Et surtout d'être accompagné de ONI. On parle football, c'est ce qu'on a choisi, donc c'est un plaisir d'abord pour nous. Et c'est un plaisir aussi pour nous de partager cela avec les autres. Donc je pense que ce soir on va bien s'amuser car c'est d'abord du foot. Et c'est du plaisir donc, à parler de ce qui est important pour pouvoir faire avancer pour tout le monde en fait.
En fait, comme la Coupe du Cameroun commence, est-ce que tu as la nostalgie, Chaque Dar, est-ce que tu te souviens, le temps qu'on avait remporté la Coupe contre UMS, New Stars, 2017, est-ce que c'est...
Toujours, parce que remporter une Coupe du Cameroun, c'est un moment inoubliable en fait. Tu ne peux pas l'oublier parce que déjà, il y a des gens qui jouent 10 ans, 15 ans, ils sont peut-être meilleurs joueurs, peut-être meilleurs attaquants, meilleurs défenseurs, mais qui ne remportent pas cette coupe-là. Donc je peux dire d'abord que c'était une grâce. C'est une grâce de remporter pour le Cameroun parce que je peux dire que c'est le plus beau jour du football camerounais en fait. Où tu es sûr que peut-être même le président de la République est en train de te regarder jouer, les ministres. Donc déjà, je pense que pour moi, je vis ça comme le plus beau jour du football camerounais. Et honorer ce jour en sortant champion, c'est la plus belle des manières parce que même celui qui perd, on dit souvent c'est la fête. Tout le monde gagne. Donc je pense que c'est le seul jour où, en réalité, même celui qui perd a l'honneur au quartier après de te dire j'ai joué une finale. Donc tu dois me respecter pour cela. Donc c'est ça qui fait un peu la magie de ce jour-là en fait.
Oh, ok, ça c'est bien, mais New Stars n'est pas dans la Coupe du Cameroun. Cette fois-ci, il n'y a pas de
New Stars est suspendu depuis je crois 2 ans, 3 ans. UMS aussi. La saison dernière, ils ont eu un petit problème lors d'un match qui devait se jouer, je crois, du côté de Bertois. Les joueurs réclamaient, je crois, c'était un salaire. Et du coup, ils n'ont pas pu voyager à temps. Et l'équipe a écopé d'une sanction de 2 ans. Donc c'est pourquoi cette année, UMS ne se retrouve pas en Coupe du Cameroun. Donc je pense que cela fait mal à tout le monde, aux joueurs, aux dirigeants. Mais bon, c'est arrivé, c'est la vie. On va faire avec et attendre que 2 ans, ça se trouve. Et bon, ceux qui seront à UMS auront encore le plaisir de discuter à la Coupe du Cameroun.
Est-ce que tu as nommé en vacances?
Bon, en vacances, entre guillemets, en vacances, ça veut dire que vous n'avez plus vous retrouver avec vos coéquipiers pour travailler ensemble avec le groupe. En vacances, bon, ça veut dire que tu as un groupe avec qui tu travailles, mais tu travailles à un rythme un peu relâché, pas trop intense, parce que tu ne sais pas quand est-ce que vraiment tu vas recommencer. Donc on est en vacances, entre guillemets, c'est ce que je peux dire.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is Tanon Sizono, goalkeeper of UMS of Loom. And the man that has just joined us is none other than Coach Extraordinaire, Charlemagne Bongo. I mean, this is the second time we're having him on the show, so it's always a pleasure to have him. Bonsoir, Coach.
Bonsoir, Miss. Bonsoir à tout le panel. C'est toujours un plaisir dans cette maison et vivement que ceux qui nous écoutent, tous nos téléspectateurs, nous puissions dire quelque chose qui va les édifier et tout le monde sera content.
Comment était le climat de Bamenda, coach?
Non, à Bamenda, quand même, on est un peu bien à Bamenda.
Il fait pas chaud.
La chaleur de Douala, c'est très compliqué. À Bamenda, quand même, c'est vrai, en journée, il y a un peu de soleil, mais après, bon, on est un peu tranquille. De temps en temps, ça peut chauffer un peu dans les maisons la nuit, mais on est un peu plus tranquille par rapport quand même à ce climat de Douala qui est très dur.
Ok, coach, maintenant que Rangers ne joue pas la Coupe du Cameroun, comment ça se passe, le plan de jeu, comment ça se passe, tu es ici, est-ce que tu vas le continuer pour la Ligue régionale? Ça va se passer comment?
Non, non, ça dépend du président, ça ne dépend plus de moi. Ça dépend plus. Déjà que les 2 derniers matchs des playoffs, je ne les ai pas joués, mais ça dépend du président. Le président, dans notre dernière causerie, on sait quelqu'un, c'est un passionné du foot. Il ne peut pas se décourager parce que lui, il est dans le foot pour la passion. Tel que j'ai travaillé avec lui, ce n'est pas quelqu'un qui est dans le foot pour gagner de l'argent. Il aime le foot, il aime encadrer les jeunes. Donc je pense que son projet ne va pas mourir parce que l'équipe va aller en régional. Non, il va continuer à encadrer les jeunes et l'équipe va continuer à vivre. Bon, personnellement, je ne peux pas encore dévoiler mon avenir ici, mais je sais que par la grâce de Dieu, je peux me retrouver toujours à Bamenda, mais peut-être plus dans Rangers ou ailleurs. Bon.
Mais quelque chose se prépare.
Je pense quand même que quelque chose se prépare.
Okay, well, last guest, last but not the least, is a sports analyst, Lucas Teme. He's back with us. I mean, we've always had him on the show, and it's a pleasure to have him once again. Lucas, welcome.
Thank you for the good evening to the panelists. Good evening to the televiewers. And when you were presenting my guest, my fellow friend, you said that it is almost difficult to see a woman that is presenting sport and who is talking about sport. And you women, you have to be encouraged. Melanjoya, ONI, Ladonette, and
Mandela.
Yes, because the only thing, and we laugh about it, is that when there was a game opposing the women of sport women, and we were playing against, I don't know the opening of the game, I did not see your name. That
No, actually it was an association, and we're not part of that association yet. We're not part of that association yet.
Okay.
That's the reason
because
why.
I consulted the list and
I saw the list. Over 30 people. No, we're not part of that association yet. That's why.
But you are talking about football, but
yes.
you don't want to play. That's the amazing thing.
Who told you?
Not so. Come on, if I were there, I would have been the goalkeeper. I think I would have. Parce que quand je joue, I play handball et je suis gardienne and handball. Yes. So, come on, if I were there, I think I would have tried to be at the goalpost. So, like she said, we've not joined here, but it doesn't mean that we are not going to make efforts to do so. Next time, you will see us.
You are going to see us there. And just to correct you, I am the number 7 shirted player.
Hey, don't play. Don't play.
Non, coach. Coach, je t'ai dit, coach. Donc, si tu vas, si ton prochain avenir, c'est pour coacher les femmes, coach, je suis là. Oui.
Okay. Let's pray that occasion can be maybe next tomorrow, and I will be there to win the game.
Most definitely. Thank you so much. So yes, you all have seen those I have with me in the studio. I guess it's time for us to, start with the agenda of the day, starting with the elite news. Welcome back. It's still a Presse refait le match right here on Spectrum Television, and we'll start with the elite news. Well, I would say making news in Cameroon, most especially in local football, is the 31-player roster released by Belgian tactician Marc Breeze ahead of the World Cup qualifiers against Cape Verde and Angola. Well, he made public his list last Friday, and amongst that 31 player, we had 2 of them being home-based players. We talk of Chindo John Bosco, captain of Young Sports Academy, and Jules Amanko, Elite One's top scorer. Let's listen to this report for more details.
The Belgian strategist at the helm of Cameroon's national team, Marc Breeze, has named Elite One's top scorer, Jules Amanko, and the distinguished captain of Young Sports Academy, Chindo John Bosco, in his provisional squad for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers against Cape Verde and Angola. The 61-year-old was thoroughly impressed by the duo's stellar performances in the recently concluded league, prompting their inaugural senior team call-ups. Among a 24-year-old football maestro, clinched the title of the league's top scorer with a remarkable tally of 22 goals in 27 games, setting a record as the first player in a decade to achieve such a feat. His journey to the top echelons of football is noteworthy, having never previously played for Cameroon's national team at any level. However, he did receive a call to join the Intermediate Lions camp in preparations for the African Nations Championship during the 2020-2021 season. In a candid revelation à la Presse refait le match, Amang expressed that being named in the national squad is the fulfillment of a lifelong dream, particularly poignant after being overlooked for the provisional list by Rigobert Song for the Africa Cup of Nations, despite his impressive statistics. Chindo John Bosco's ascent in the football world has been meteoric, courtesy of his outstanding contributions to Young Sports Academy. His selection for the national squad comes as no surprise, given his recent one-on-one with coach Marc Breeze. This season, Bosco's leadership and skill has been on full display, netting 13 goals and steering Young Sports to their inaugural title playoff. In a remarkable display of talent, he notched a decisive hat-trick in the playoff against Dinamo of Douala, securing his position as the top scorer with 6 goals. Bosco's consistent excellence has previously garnered him a spot with the Under-23 squad. Although he narrowly missed the cut for the final roster, his current form has undeniably caught the attention of the national team selector, earning him what many term as a well-deserved call-up.
earning him what many term as a well-deserved call-up. However, I've been seeing a lot of, mixed reactions with regards to the two players selected, and I would really want to know from you, Magdela. I mean, I've seen some people say that they were better, or they are better options other than Jules Emanko and Chindo John Bosco. What do you think about that?
When I heard you say mixed feelings, I just wanted to say, can you just forget about mixed feeling and just rephrase it to say this were the best option the coach could get in Cameroon? Jules Emanko, well deserved. Chindo John Bosco, unarguably well deserved. If there is any player, even a blind person who just went to the field and got the ambience from Yosel's game in particular, would say that if McBreeze were to come up with players pre-selected for the upcoming World Cup qualifying clash, then the first person to make the list would be Chindo John Bosco. So I do not think that we are supposed to even have mixed feelings as concerns these two players that have been summoned to the Lions Den, and we are hoping that the two players maintain when the coach is going to trim his list to 25 players who are going to take on Cape Verde and of course Angola. Jules Emanko, well deserved, because like you mentioned in your report, we've not had a player, he has broken a record that we've not had in the past 1 decade, that is 10 years, since 10 years, because the highest goal scorer we had last season, Emmanuel Mahop, scored 14 goals. I almost said just 14, but of course, credits to him because he did his best and he emerged top goal scorer in Cameroon. But we had Jules Emanko come this year, score 14, 15, 16, 17, up to 22 goals. When we all thought it was all over, or almost over, when Richmond of Victoria United scored, and that helped his side clinch the Elite One trophy. And then we saw Jules Emanko say that. So, in fact, unarguably, Astra has Jules Emanko to thank for maintaining their stay in the MTN Elite One Championship, because if he didn't have a prolific goal scorer like this who could give them the goals, they would have been talking of an Astra side who would have been one of those relegated back to Elite 2, Ladonette.
Okay, well, Astra do have themselves Jules Emanko to thank. I want to talk to you, Tanon. En tant que joueur, qu'est-ce que ça signifie pour un joueur d'être présélectionné, même si tu n'es pas dans la liste finale? Qu'est-ce que ça signifie pour un joueur?
Déjà, c'est un peu comme une drogue. Bon, déjà, c'est comme une drogue. Mais quand on te l'annonce, même, tu ne crois même pas que ce soit juste une présélection. Mais tant que c'est le vert jaune, ça te transforme beaucoup. Tu deviens une autre personne. Le coureur qui a 22 buts aujourd'hui, ou bien c'est 23 buts, je ne connais pas trop le nombre exact. 22 buts. Quand on appelle chez les A, même s'il revient la saison prochaine, il reste un A. On ne devient pas un lion 2 fois, c'est une fois. Il ne sera plus jamais le même, il sera toujours mieux que ça. Ça sera un peu comme une source de motivation primordiale pour lui à chaque fois que vous allez vous retrouver dans les mêmes conditions que lui. Lui, il va se dire, j'ai été A une fois, je peux encore être A. Il va se donner plus d'avantages. Et moi, je salue cela, parce qu'avant que tu marques 20 buts, 30 buts, on ne vous regardait même pas. Aujourd'hui, quand on appelle courant, je parie que tous les avanceurs de toute l'équipe se posent la question, mais si moi aussi la saison prochaine, j'ai 15 buts, j'ai 20 buts, on peut m'appeler. Ça booste quoi? Et ça booste aussi tout le monde. Tout le monde, même les gardiens, ils se disent, si on appelait un attaquant partiel à marquer 22 buts, et moi si je fais peut-être 15 clichés et si mon équipe est devant et que je brille, on peut aussi m'appeler. Donc je tiens à saluer cela, ça nous motive tous et ça motive vraiment en particulier le joueur qui est présélectionné.
Ok, coach, tu as vu la liste, qu'est-ce que tu penses de la liste en général?
Déjà, c'est une consécration pour les joueurs locaux. Parce que lorsque les joueurs locaux se retrouvent dans une présélection en équipe A, ça motive tous les autres joueurs qui participent à ce championnat. Parce que là, les uns et les autres savent qu'en faisant des efforts, on peut se retrouver en présélection, même si on ne reste pas dans la liste finale. Maintenant, de manière globale, je l'ai toujours dit, je continuerai à le dire, nous avons de très bons footballeurs. Mais mon problème, c'est au niveau de l'ADN de notre football. Le football camerounais a son ADN. Tant que nous allons chercher à jouer comme les autres, il faut dire ça comme ça sans citer spécifiquement. Mais tant que nous allons chercher à jouer comme les autres, nous aurons des problèmes à retrouver nos victoires d'antan qui ont fait que le Cameroun rayonne au niveau du continent et sur le plan mondial. Mais nous avons de très bons footballeurs. La génération d'aujourd'hui, ou alors le groupe, quand je regarde le groupe qui était à la CAN, à l'exception peut-être de certains, nous avons de très bons footballeurs. Mais il faut juste leur inculquer cet ADN du football camerounais. Je ne parle pas du humble, parce que c'est un mot qu'on utilise beaucoup. Ce n'est pas le humble qui gagne, mais nous avons quelque chose de particulier que nous développons, que je peux difficilement expliquer, mais que le Cameroun développe, qui est différent des autres nations. Et c'est ça qui fait notre charme. Quand je pense encore à cette qualification à Blida, il n'y a que le Cameroun pour provoquer ce genre d'émotion à tous ceux qui aiment cette nation, le Cameroun. Donc, c'est ça mon problème. Aujourd'hui, nous avons, il faut pas le cacher, l'ossature de notre équipe. Aujourd'hui, c'est à la diaspora. Maintenant, nous avons deux diasporas. Ceux qui sont nés de ce côté-là, qui ont appris à jouer au foot là-bas, ceux qui sont nés ici et qui sont allés jouer là-bas. Comment fédérer, ça veut dire que ces énergies, ou alors comment inculquer cet ADN à tous ceux-là pour que lorsqu'ils entrent sur le terrain, qu'ils aient la mentalité du Cameroun, la mentalité que ceux d'avant ont eu. Donc voilà un peu ce que je peux dire globalement de cette liste. Il y a du talent, il y a du pain sur la planche pour l'entraîneur. C'est à lui de pouvoir sortir de là une bonne graine qui va nous redonner le sourire lorsque nous verrons notre équipe gagner les matchs.
Well, Coach has said we have talent in that 31-player roster released by Mark Preisse, but we'll see how it goes. The 25 he will retain. We will see them. I mean, the World Cup qualifiers is in June, so anytime from now, he will obviously trim down that list. But well, I wanted us to talk about this very important factor, how calling up an international or a local player, the effect it has on its career. And we had a discussion with FIFA agent Amadou Tigana sometime on the show, and he talked of how when a player is called to the national team, immediately he gets a transfer market. He gets, incorporated into the transfer market, and there his value increases because playing already in the championship doesn't give you any sort of value. But when you're called into, the national team, even if it's just pre-selected, you get into the transfer market, and it sort of puts some value into you, especially when they want to transfer you. Well, I guess he has more details as we cut some excerpts of that program. Let's go take a listen.
It's totally low. Players doesn't have value. Total, listen what I'm saying and let Cameroonian listen. I'm into the field for more than it's about 22 or 23 years in transfer of players. The quality of player, you take a player from Cameroon, he doesn't have a transfer market. Yes, all players that have transfer market, maybe he's playing with Coton Sport, maybe Apijes, that few clubs that have transfer market like Apijes, because Apijes, I call Apijes because Apijes have been trying to sign players outside like all those type of things, so they have transfer market now. Listen very well. That's a football is a business, and football is calculative. If you don't know about it, you can't make money on it. Clubs here want to make money about football, but they don't want to invest. There are many clubs that have been singing. Do your transfer market. If you want to do transfer, even second division club, you apply to transfer market. Go to them, you apply. And when you apply now, you can register your player on the transfer market. Because if the clubs that the player is playing doesn't have transfer market, you register the player, it will not go. So, only players that you see that they can go on transfer market or that on transfer market is players that have been selected for the junior national team, because when you're selected in junior national team or play a competition, international competition with your national team, that's where you can be on transfer market. And mostly go to transfer market. For example, let me take Tebada just left to Algeria. So, before leaving Philip de Bamenda to Dynamo, he has zero to transfer market. Or zero from value in transfer market. But when he got the first call-up with the national team, the value increased to 50,000. Listen very well. When they give the second call, the transfer market increased to $100,000. And when he went now, was selected to the AFCON, the transfer market increased to 250,000 because he was called, not because of the level of the championship, because he was called with the national team. The same, okay, he went now, but right now, see, he has signed with the club in Nigeria. Go and see his transfer market is going now about to 350 to 400. And if he plays about 6 months, you go there, you see about his transfer market going to about 500.
Yes, because Cameroon really doesn't have it.
This time, Mosu have been playing with Cotton Sport. It's because he played all the Champion League match, about 3 Champion League. That's where you see he has the transfer market, but with zero value. With zero value. Even Chemalong, before living here, his transfer market was under my agency. He has zero value. But immediately he signs, after 2 days in Simba, the transfer market went from zero immediately to 75,000. Tell you that the championship that we are here is zero value. There's no player that is valued, except you are called in the national team.
Insightful words from Amadou Tigana, FIFA agent, one that has been in the business for a very long time. Just one word before we close this page and move over to, the Cup of Cameroon's game. I want to talk to you, Luca. What do you think about it? Because last week we had a panel of footballers, and I can remember Sago's words, Sago Frank from Young Sports Academy, who said he would like to see not just 2 players called up to the national team, but many more. I mean, I remember back in for the World Cup, for the Africa Cup of Nations, Rigobert Song called 49, while you had the opportunity to call about 55, your first list, before you trim it down to, the number that was required. And he had just about 2 or 3, if I'm not mistaken, players in that list, 2, 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken, from the national team. When you have a space like that, and it might give an opportunity to players, to have value on their transfer market profile. Don't you think it's also nice to call these players more often?
All depends on the organization of our football. If the football is well organized, the championship will grow, and the business will also grow. And what will I say? All the advertisers, all the company will come and support our organization, so that the club will be able to recruit outside and give them good payment. It depends also to the type of championship we have. When you go to the field, at times it is at times bored to watch to witness some games. But now, because I've said it, he knows. We think the organizer of championship and the organizer, the manager selectioner, the coach will always be recruited the talented player. But I was shocked when we went to the AFCON, the last AFCON, but the top scorer of Cameroon was Jules Amankwah, was not called. And I can congratulate Mr. Brice for the job that he has done, because he has selected 2 players. And one of the thing that I'm contesting, the fact that he has not selected a young goalkeeper in Cameroon. Yeah. We have goalkeeper at Germany, we have Pinsue, we have Bello, we have Ashu. No, Ashu is at the level of maybe Galachi, because he has done more in Cameroon, and we know what he is capable of.
No, but if we have to look at good goalkeepers now,
we need a young goalkeeper.
Then that would be of course Germany.
Yes, we need a young goalkeeper that will be trained, that we acquire the
Simon Gapandebo is also a young one.
Our championship, he will be taught by Andre Onana. There are many in Cameroon that they have performed well during this championship, and we think that with the time, Mr. Brice will go to the field and select the players and also the goalkeeper to improve the competition in that on that side, because you know in Cameroon goalkeepers know that it at times difficult for them to be selected in that national team, and they deserve it to be selected. You know, when almost was in Cameroon, he was never been called. Maybe I can deceive myself.
No, but we've had Marcelin Babi in the national team.
He has never been called to the national team. But when he left to Congo, he played for AS Vita, and they saw the talent there, and he was transferred to Lupopo, and they called him now. But that place, we should the selection
incorporate goalkeepers.
Should put maybe a place for a young goalkeeper of the Cameroon Championship.
Okay, no, that's a very good point. I mean, we have Tamon Sizono also, who is a goalkeeper, so a space should be awarded to every player, as long as, and Tanon did make mention of that it's a booster as a goalkeeper. You know, if you can keep like 10 clean sheets, you might be called for the national team. It talks of how excellence will be the priority for your selection. Yeah.
Before I want to say something. You know, Juna Manko has scored 22 goals, and he's a top scorer. It is a top scorer. It is true, but you know, this championship has revealed to the talent of many players.
True.
Kachi, Richmond, Fumo, Fortuna, and this is the first goalkeeper since 2010 that we have not got only one top scorer who has gone away and the other are left behind. You know, in 2014, the top scorer was Joshua Babanda. He scored 15 goals. After we had Ibatobi 12 like this. But this year we have had somebody who has scored 22 goals. It means that maybe next year somebody will come out with 24 to
and even challenge the record. Yeah, that's good. Like Tanon said, it's good because it encourages you to be more pushful and to strive to do even better than the person who has done best this year. So that's true.
Promotes competition. I mean, we talk about Maop 14 now, Jules 22. So next season we should be looking out for somebody to set the bar even higher. Well, thank you so much for that beautiful contribution on that topic. I guess it's time for us to move over to the games. So we get this transition, come right back and start with everything happening in the 65th edition of the Cup of Cameroon. The battle for the Cup of Cameroon final will run from May 15 to June 16. From 64 teams, only 2 will be left by this time. Well, let's get a complete competition schedule in this report.
As the anticipation builds, all eyes are on Fovo Football Club of Baham to see if they can make history by securing the Cup of Cameroon in back-to-back victories for the first time. The stage is set, and as the clock ticks towards the kickoff, the question lingers. Will Fovo of Baham rise to the challenge? The Cup of Cameroon returns with fervor, launching into the round of 32 on Wednesday, May 15, 2024. Over the course of 5 days, 32 games will play out across 8 stadiums, spanning various regions, culminating on May 19. The victorious 32 from this round will engage in fierce competition from May 22 to May 26, 2024. Shortly thereafter, the 8 final contenders will lock horns from May 29 to June 2, leading up to the quarterfinals scheduled for June 8 and 9. The semi-finals slated for June 15 and 16 will determine the finalists vying for the coveted title, with one team poised to follow in the footsteps of Fovo of Baham. The cup has been lifted by 25 different teams, with Fovo of Baham being the reigning champions. Canon Sportif of Yaoundé holds the record with 10 titles, closely followed by Coton Sport of Garoua with 7. It's been over a decade since a team, Coton Sport in 2007 and 2008, has clinched the title consecutively. Will history repeat itself, or will a new champion emerge? Only time will tell.
Well, history repeats itself, or will a new champion emerge? I guess it's only time that will tell us that. Well, but it's quite interesting. Since 2007 and 2008, we haven't had a team that, do a back-to-back win at the Cup of Cameroon. Coach, est-ce que Fovo peut faire? On sait ce qui se passe avec Fovo de Baham. Fovo de Baham qui a gagné contre PWG. L'édition passée, Yaoundé, ils avaient un magnifique joueur, Mbappé Müller. Malheureusement, c'est ce qui s'est passé. On dit qu'il a fui avec les équipements. Mais quand tu vois, they have been training, ils ont commencé l'entraînement et tout. Est-ce que Fovo de Baham peut garder son titre?
Bon, c'est un peu difficile à dire. C'est un peu difficile à dire si Fovo peut garder son titre ou pas. Moi, j'ai un gros problème avec l'organisation de la Coupe du Cameroun. Un gros problème. Vous savez, aujourd'hui, ça c'est mon sentiment personnel, hein, et je suis convaincu que beaucoup vont le partager. Aujourd'hui, la Coupe du Cameroun a perdu un certain engouement. La Coupe du Cameroun a même perdu sa saveur. Parce que imaginez la Coupe du Cameroun qui se joue à la fin du championnat. Il y a déjà eu les relégués et tout ce que cela comporte. Vous pensez que c'est facile pour une équipe qui est reléguée de regrouper les joueurs pour revenir jouer la Coupe du Cameroun avec tous les problèmes que nous connaissons dans les clubs? C'est très difficile. Moi, je pense qu'il faut qu'on revienne à l'ancienne organisation, insérer la Coupe du Cameroun entre les matchs du championnat. Ça va garder cet engouement, ça va garder cette effervescence et cette saveur. Vous allez vous rendre compte, aujourd'hui, il y a beaucoup d'équipes qui sont en train de désister pour jouer la Coupe du Cameroun parce que ça se joue après le championnat. Les gens ne sont plus motivés. Les gens ne sont plus motivés. À l'époque, quand les matchs de Coupe se jouaient entre les matchs du championnat, il y avait cet engouement, il y avait cette envie, surtout pour les divisionnaires, d'aller gagner les équipes d'élite. Aujourd'hui, cette saveur est partie, cet engouement a disparu. On retrouve une Coupe du Cameroun où chacun se met à écrire « Ok, moi je ne vais pas participer » et tout ça. Et puis on voit le directeur de compétition qui réagit dans les forums en disant « Non, vous êtes obligé de participer ». C'est tout simplement parce que cette Coupe du Cameroun a perdu sa saveur. Donc il faut qu'on revienne à cette ancienne formule où la Coupe du Cameroun se joue entre les matchs du championnat. Je crois que là, aujourd'hui, Fovo de Baham, pour répondre à ta question, est-ce que Fovo de Baham peut conserver son titre? Nous connaissons tout ce qui s'est passé autour de cette équipe pendant les playoffs. Un joueur qui prend le matériel, il va avec. Aujourd'hui, l'équipe a repris les entraînements. Dans quel état d'esprit l'équipe a repris les entraînements? Ça, c'est des questions qu'il faut se poser en ce moment. Si on se pose de bonnes questions et qu'on a des réponses, en ce moment, on peut dire si Fovo est capable de conserver son titre. Mais comme il y a beaucoup de points d'interrogation auxquels, moi, personnellement, je n'ai pas de réponse, je ne peux pas me mettre sur ce panel et dire si Fovo peut conserver son titre ou pas. Mais je pense que c'est ouvert. C'est ouvert. Fovo est une grande équipe, soit qu'en dehors de ce que cette équipe a vécu comme indiscipline, je pense qu'elle a les arguments quand même pour faire valoir son talent pendant cette Coupe du Cameroun.
Well, Fovo Football Club of Baham will play Rainbow FC, a team from the Northwest region. Well, I haven't really seen the dates of that game yet. So, yeah, but that is it. They will play Rainbow FC. That's because the Northwest region was still producing, was yet to produce its representatives. They played the preliminaries just this weekend. And Rainbow FC is the team that will meet with Fovo Football Club of Baham. Now, I want to ask you, look about the preliminaries. Rainbow FC was the champion from the preliminaries in the Northwest region. I mean, do you think if that's anything to go by, should we look forward to this team against Fovo?
Looking at how Fovo performed in the MTN Elite 1 Championship that caused them to be relegated back to Elite. So I will say yes, because football nowadays is on the pitch. You cannot just look at a team and you say that no, they are from the regional level. They do not stand a chance against defending champion Fovu Club of Baham. With the way Fovu has performed, instead a motivation for them to come and face Fovu with full force, hoping that they can move to the next phase of the competition. We had a lot of surprises last season where we saw smaller teams come and defeat even bigger teams that participated in the MTN Elite 1 Championship and even crossed past that stage and made it to the other phases of the competition. So I'm saying that Rainbow, it may be a little difficult, but they have what it takes as of now, because they are coming first from the northwest region of Cameroon, and their motivation now will be the fact that Fovu performed poorly in the Cameroon Cup, and we know that we just finished the league and we are getting now to the next phase of the of football in Cameroon, which is the Cup of Cameroon, and that is to say that Fovu is probably maintaining its squad that played the league, and so these players are definitely going to face the same or almost the same set of players who participated in the league. That is to say, they have an opportunity to strive to do better and to face Fovu. They have what it takes. Football, it's 90 minutes on the pitch. We should never say never, really, because those boys from the northwest region can still have their way over Fovu if Fovu is not careful. If Fovu comes into this game saying that, or being laxed, saying that they are going to face a regional side, then it may be a problem. It may be a very big problem. So when I come to Talente, anyways, when we come to Talente, we're going to talk more about that, because Talente is going to face the club who has won the Cameroon Cup the most number of times than any other club. So it's really going to be a tough one day. When we get there, we'll talk about it more.
Yes, le problème que les équipes du Nord-Ouest peuvent avoir, ou alors que Rainbow peut avoir face à une équipe comme Fovu. C'est vrai que Fovu, bon, je ne pense pas que ce qui s'est passé a complètement déstabilisé l'équipe, parce que Fovu, c'est quand même une des équipes aussi dans notre championnat qui est bien structurée. Qui est bien structurée. Les équipes du Nord-Ouest n'ont pas démarré le championnat. Donc,
oui.
Le championnat,
on dit que le championnat va commencer le 26.
On a commencé avec la coupe. Donc ces équipes peuvent avoir un problème de rythme. Et Rainbow, c'est une équipe de jeunes, c'est une académie, c'est une équipe de jeunes. Si tous les gars de Fovu sont là, ils reprennent tous l'entraînement et que les gars sont dans un bon état d'esprit, ça va être difficile. Quelle que soit la volonté que Rainbow peut avoir, ça va être difficile de passer quand même sur Fovu.
Ça va être difficile de passer quand même sur Fovu, mais c'est un match à jouer.
That is if the players too are motivated.
Yeah,
les joueurs de Fovu, on dit quoi, pleure tous les jours, on ne les motive pas. Donc, if you motivate these players, it gives them the opportunity to come and play and defend the club. So we are saying that football now is on the pitch, and the problem, even if we know that Fovu is favorite, very, very favorite against Rainbow FC, but it is a motivation for Rainbow knowing that Fovu performed poorly. And another thing is that Fovu has been disunited for a while now, with the players complaining every day of non-payment of salaries. So they should encourage these players, if they want these players, to go and play, because some of these players, I bet you, they have zero motivation when they are on the turf because of the way they are being treated by their clubs. So I think that the clubs can do better so that these players equally produce excellent results on the pitch.
Yeah.
Sport is made up of competition. When you compete, when
you're competing,
pitch, when you are competing, you have certain advantage against the opponent. The coach has said something
very important. Yes.
The championship of regional league of
Northwest will start on the 26th.
You see, Fovu is going there with maybe 29 games on the field.
Recently they played Saw United.
They have played only maybe 5 games and they were champion. They are champion.
I think it was 1 or 2 games played there.
What will they do? You have 2 games and you want to defeat someone who has played 29 games.
It can
even
happen.
if the morale is down, it is it is quite difficult for Rainbow to succeed against Fofo Bam. That is football. If you don't play and somebody your opponent is playing, that one is gaining advantage.
Okay, well, it's like she said, it's on the pitch, and despite the advantages, I guess we might just see shock. I mean, one team I'm definitely missing in this Cup of Cameroon is Stade de Banjul. Knowing fully well, they gave us a really great run last season.
To talk about Stade de Banjul. Last season, they put arguably
they gave us
the most surprising results.
Yeah, they gave us a good run.
Exactly. So,
yes.
Maybe
you see, that's football for you, and it was a regional side.
Maybe the fact that they went too far for the Cameroon Cup has made them being this year maybe intelligent, because they put a lot of energy to the Cameroon Cup, and they did not succeed in the
Interpose.
But you're not
they never got Interpose.
You're not wrong. You're right too, because ONI, we should note that these are the persons who are going to be representing us at the international stage. That is the CAF. You get the CAF competition. So for who will be more and more motivated to defend the fact that they are going to be representing Cameroon, because it is even shameful now to say that it is a team from the second division that will be representing Cameroon in the CAF. Is it Champions League? CAF Confederations Cup, Champions League, either of the two. So it is really going to be a thing, a shameful thing to say it. And so for who club would definitely not want to remain on people's lips that they are coming from Elite 2 to go and represent Cameroon, but definitely don't want to prove a point.
Oh, proving a point is good, and a team that has a point to prove is league winners Victoria United. Well, it's going to be an interesting one. Victoria United will kickstart their campaign in the 32 finals of the Cup of Cameroon against Gaoundéré FC on Sunday at the Omnisport and Next One Stadium at 3:30 p.m. I mean, Victoria United is going to be quite good. Je suis venu un peu rejoindre UMS après la saison régulière, donc je n'ai pas joué contre Victoria.
Si, j'ai joué contre Victoria.
Oh, tu as joué contre Victoria?
Yeah, in Douala.
Yeah. I mean, they've started training already. No, where in Douala? In this game?
He played
Oh,
again.
dernier match?
Le match, je pense que c'était l'avant-dernier match.
Avant-dernier match?
Avant-dernier match.
Annexe là.
Je crois qu'on les gagne 1-0.
1-0.
Et j'aurais même le petit de lundi ce jour-là. Je pense que c'est même après ce match-là que le scandale des âges a commencé.
En fait, tu sais, Sigue avait mentionné que c'était son meilleur match joué.
C'était le match, je pense que c'était le match de la saison. Nous, soit on les gagnait pour avoir un espoir au play-off. Si eux, ils perdaient, c'était fini pour eux. Quand on les a gagnés...
Et ils ont perdu, c'était fini pour eux.
C'était fini pour eux, mais bon, ils ont promis qu'eux, ils seront champions, mais bon.
Oui. Qu'est-ce que tu penses de l'équipe Victoria qui va jouer Gaoundéré FC? Est-ce que Victoria peut faire un doublé cette saison?
Bon,
parce que c'est une équipe aussi battante.
C'est vrai quand même qu'au départ, je veux parler vraiment en tant que joueur, en tant que joueur, parce que nous tous, à un moment du championnat, on avait un peu, je veux dire, entre guillemets, une dent contre cette équipe-là. Parce que, même pas qu'on se disait, on voyait clairement qu'ils avaient un appui, je ne sais pas si c'est des arbitres ou bien si c'est de quoi, c'est la fédération. Bon, ça c'est entre guillemets. Mais, avec le temps, au play-off par exemple, on a vu qu'ils ont grandi, et après ils commençaient à gagner des matchs par eux-mêmes. Peut-être on pouvait dire que les arbitres ont encore aidé, mais c'était peut-être pour dire, pas parce qu'auparavant ils ont eu à le faire. Moi personnellement, vers la fin, j'ai vu Victoria United vraiment commencer à mériter un peu ce qui les arrivait.
Ils ont grandi.
Ouais, ils ont grandi. Donc c'est ce que je peux dire.
Okay, Magdala, I mean, this is a team from your region, the region you come from. And last year, while they were in the Cup of Cameroon, they had a really prolific striker, Juma Ikose Conrad. Yeah, I'm trying to, remember the pronunciation of Conrad. It's Conrad. Oh, I mean, hopefully I get that right. Yeah, so a prolific striker with them, and he emerged top scorer for Victoria United at the Cup of Cameroon. Now they have a plethora of strikers. Rich Monji.
Exactly.
A lot of people to talk about. So you see this team? Do you see this team going all the way?
I think so. I think so, because Victoria United would definitely, like I said about Fovo, I think it's going to be almost going to be the same thing with Victoria United. They would definitely want to prove a point as well, because we know what happened during the league, where everyone says that Victoria United has as backing the Men in Black. The Men in Black. And so Victoria United would definitely want to prove a point to make everyone know that they did not just have the Men in Black to back them up, but definitely they are going to showcase the same strength that used in the championship, as well as the same strength they are going to use in the Cup of Cameroon. Victoria United, arguably, like he said, one time we saw how the Amarchis played, and we said that they were favored. But at one point in time, where you saw them play, especially during the playoffs, you realized that this is a team that came prepared. Some of their victories were well deserved. Honestly, I would want to give kudos to some players of the team, because their efforts alone is like they really put in efforts to ensure that they get the name of Victoria United off the lips of some persons. Richmond G was there. We saw how Nathan Douala impressed during the playoffs of the MTN Elite One Championship. And of course, we had young goalkeeper in Germany. Honestly, this guy deserves to be among the top 3 when we are looking at the Cameroon Ballon d'Or that comes up later this year, because he was exceptional in goal, and that is the kind of those are the kind of lads, or that is the kind of young star would want to see emerging with the junior national teams of Cameroon. Germany is just 18 years of age, and he's already that good. That means that he can be given the opportunity to defend Cameroon with the under-20, the under-23, and of course, why not? Like he was saying, we need a goalkeeper, or we need local goalkeepers that will come from the championship. And one of the best sides are Ashukerido. We've heard that of Union, the goalkeeper for Union, and
Elimbi.
as well, exactly, Samuel, and equally in Germany, who is a very young, a prolific goalkeeper, a goal guard, a very prolific one at that. So everything being equal, if Victoria United really comes with the same spirit that they use, especially during the playoffs of the MTN Elite, the title playoffs, then I think that they would definitely go far as the Cup of Cameroon is concerned, and they have what it takes. Since they are facing the regional side, they have what it takes to even sail through to the next phase of the competition.
Okay, a winner from Victoria United against Gaoundé FC will play the winner from Astrov Douala and Real FC of Garoua. That's how it's going to be. Now, let's move away from Victoria United and talk about the team with the most Cup of Cameroon, Kanong Sportif of Yaoundé, eliminated in the 8th finals, the last edition by Fovo Football Club of Baham. Kanong is back to regain its familiar sport, which is to be champions. Well, the team will play talented FAE of Moyoka this Wednesday at the Reunification Annex Stadium at 3:30 p.m. They face this team with new gaffer Jules Onana, with 3-game experience since joining this side mid-playoffs. Now, let's get information on how they are training for this game in this report. Kanong Sportif of Yaoundé is set to arrive in Douala this Tuesday. They are gearing up for a pivotal round of 32 match against the formidable talented FA of Moyoka. The much-anticipated match is scheduled to take place at the Reunification Annex Stadium, marking the day's second showdown at 3:30 p.m., following the 1:30 p.m. face-off between Renaissance of Gumwa and Senior Dev FA. The Pakum boys have dedicated the past 3 weeks to rigorous training sessions, alternating between Angisa and the Ofeg locality on the fringes of the capital, Yaoundé. Julaba Onana is poised to make a significant impact, riding the momentum of leading his team to 2 victories in their last 3 Elite One playoff games. With a steadfast resolve, the team is preparing to tackle Wednesday's game with the utmost determination, leaving no stone unturned.
Le bilan est très positif du moment où nos joueurs ont repris l'ambiance qu'il faille. Ils sont épanouis, ils sont réceptifs, ils ont été réceptifs, et puis lors des petits matchs d'évaluation, ils ont pu, n'est-ce pas, démontrer qu'ils ont retenu pas mal de choses. Maintenant, il faut respecter tout adversaire en coupe, parce que la coupe du Cameroun, c'est quel stade?
Ça là, c'était à Baklébé. Non, pas Baklébé, Bonamoussadi.
Comme leur nom nous dit, les talents du cas, ils sont effectivement, je ne les connais pas, mais ils sont certainement talentueux. Nous les prenons au sérieux, nous allons jouer ce match avec beaucoup de sérieux et en espérant que nous aurions le dernier mot sur notre adversaire ce mercredi.
In a retrospective glance, Canon's journey in the previous edition of the Cameroon Cup came to an abrupt halt in the 8th finals, where they were narrowly edged out by Fovu Football Club of Baham, succumbing to a 6-7 defeat in a penalty shootout following a 1-1 draw. Canon boasts a steroid legacy, having clinched the Cameroon Cup a record 11 times. Their last triumph dates back to 1999 when they emerged victorious against Cotonsport of Garoua.
10 cup of a Cameroon trophy on their shelves, but the last time they won this trophy was way back in 1999. Canon Sportif is still struggling to add to another, add another win to that. Coach, Canon reste le Canon. Une saison, chaque saison, on attend toujours le Canon.
Canon reste le Canon, non, Canon n'est plus le Canon. Moi, je suis un ancien fan de Canon, donc ce n'est plus le Canon que nous on a supporté. Le Canon d'aujourd'hui, c'est avec les larmes que nous allons au stade pour supporter Canon. Moi, je suis entraîneur, mais le Canon, c'est l'équipe que j'ai aimée ici au Cameroun. Parce que le Canon, c'est comme si le Canon était dans mon sang, quoi. Quand je le dis, les gens ne peuvent pas comprendre, mais c'est une équipe que j'ai beaucoup aimée. Le Canon, ce n'est plus le Canon. Nous qui avons aimé le Canon avec le cœur, bon, on ne se reconnaît plus dans le Canon. C'est vrai que depuis 2 ans, le Canon est en pleine restructuration. Le Canon est en train de faire les efforts pour retrouver quand même ses lettres de noblesse. Mais bon, ce n'est plus le Canon. Le Canon que nous avons vu au play-off, qui avait les arguments pour aller chercher le titre, mais malheureusement, qui n'a pas pu. Mais le Canon n'est plus le Canon. Un peu comme on le dit souvent pour s'amuser que le lion est devenu le chat. Les lions ne font plus peur en Afrique parce que les autres nations sont en train de travailler, sont en train de progresser. C'est la même chose que les autres équipes.
Mais on a vu l'arrivée de jeu là-bas au Nana. Est-ce qu'on peut voir le changement? Parce qu'il a joué 3 matchs avec Canon, 2 victoires, un défaite contre Victoria United. Est-ce qu'on peut voir un changement?
L'entraîneur a sa part, l'administration a sa part. Ce n'est pas l'entraîneur qui va venir faire le miracle dans l'équipe. L'administration a sa part de responsabilité. L'entraîneur, c'est le terrain, c'est bien préparer ses joueurs et tout. Mais le reste, c'est l'administration qui le fait. C'est l'administration qui paye les joueurs. C'est l'administration qui motive les joueurs. C'est l'administration qui met les joueurs dans les meilleures conditions. Si l'entraîneur, après avoir fait tout ce qu'il a fait là, les joueurs ne sont pas dans les meilleures conditions, ils vont gagner comment?
Non, mais on sait que Canon c'est plein pas.
Tout à l'heure, on parlait de Fovu, une équipe dans laquelle les joueurs sont en train de gréver tout le temps, les joueurs sont en train de réclamer les salaires. Mais si le Canon...
Non, mais le Canon n'a pas ce problème-là.
Le Canon n'a pas ce problème-là. Le Canon a d'autres problèmes plus compliqués que les problèmes d'argent. Le Canon a souvent des crises internes qui sont plus graves que les problèmes d'argent. Les crises de telle enseigne que même si on vous prime 100 000 le match, vous ne gagnez pas. C'est de ça que je parle. Et ce sont ces guerres intestines qui détruisent souvent, ou alors qui ont détruit le Canon qu'on ne retrouve plus aujourd'hui comme le Canon qui nous a fait plaisir à l'époque. Donc c'est un peu ce que je voulais dire. Donc pour moi, le Canon ne fait plus peur. Le Canon ne fait plus peur.
Donc il ne faut pas qu'on s'attend au Canon sportif pour la Coupe du Cameroun?
Le Canon peut faire sensation en Coupe du Cameroun, mais aujourd'hui, rencontrer le Canon ne fait plus peur. Comme je peux dire qu'aujourd'hui, rencontrer Coton ne fait plus peur. Parce que Coton que j'ai vu au play-off ou durant tout le championnat, n'importe qui pouvait les battre. Donc c'est ce que je veux dire. Donc aujourd'hui, pendant que vous régressez, les autres sont en train de travailler, donc ils commencent à avoir un certain nivellement de valeur. Moi, par exemple, le champion du Cameroun que j'aurais souhaité, que j'ai vu sur le terrain, pour moi, qui pouvait mériter, c'était Young Sport. Dans le jeu et tout ce qu'ils ont démontré, mais malheureusement, ils sont aussi tombés dans les excès, dans leur match contre Canon, qui les a amenés à perdre les points et tout. Ils ne sont pas restés fair play, mais c'est une équipe qui avait beaucoup d'arguments pendant les playoffs. Donc voilà un peu une analyse que je peux faire pour démontrer que le Canon ne fait plus peur.
Le Canon ne fait plus peur. you look at the team Canon Sportif has, and looking at, coach has really raised really pertinent points. I mean, they weren't so impressive in the playoff up, but they were quite great in the regular season. Luca, do you think, Canon, with the fact that they did not make anything, they did not do anything concrete in the playoff up, can it be enough motivation going into the Cup of Cameroon?
I would say that the only logic is football is that there's no logic.
There's no logic.
You see the organization of Canon. It is already 3 years now that Canon is playing the playoff up of our championship. They went to Garoua, they did not succeed. They
came to Douala.
And this year also. But if you see the Canon of last year, they played well. They went to the 8th final. They were eliminated by Fovu. At which stage? At the penalty shootout. At that stage, everybody can win. And when you see Fovu, the next game they won at the penalty shootout. The only game that Fovu won on the pitch was the final. It means that they were preparing the game, their games on the penalty shootout. That is to demonstrate that Canon is not the ridiculous team that we can talk about. But it is quite interesting to say that Canon, despite of the organization, they have not won. But we know that for the past 3 or 4 or 5 years now, Canon has known certain disputes that has at time being has caused a lot of Canon that there has not been a team that we have been expecting. But we can say that the recruitment of Billy Tongfak, Tinker, or all those players, they can put their strength together and allow Canon to win the Cameroon Cup this year. But I can congratulate certain teams such as Moliko, Dalen, Sinodev. These are the teams that are playing this stage for the first time because they were not there
last season.
Maybe past 10 years. They have not been there.
Sinodev
was in 2022.
Sinodev played Canon and they were defeated on penalty shootout, if I'm not mistaken. Penalty shootout. And it was a very beautiful game to watch. If you watch Tonga, who plays out of the country now, Senior Dev scored the 2 goals before Canon actually equalized.
Okay.
And if that's one of the games I would never forget, because if you watch the game carefully, Jason number 18 for Senior Dev scored the first, number 19 scored the second, Tonga almost scored the third. It was Jason number 20, and then just like 88 minutes to the end of the game, Canon equalized. So to think that Canon is the most experienced, I think that what he's saying is true, because the fact that Canon has performed poorly, they are the most experienced. It can count.
Moi-même, je me rappelle plus, mais quand j'étais dans les As, je pense que nous avons joué Sinodev en coupe.
Ils étaient là en 2022.
On les a pas battus. On les a pas battus facilement. Ils nous ont beaucoup embêtés.
C'était le meilleur.
Ils nous ont beaucoup embêtés. Je pense que c'est en deuxième mi-temps qu'on avait marqué 2 buts pour les gagner. Donc c'est une équipe qui est habituée à la coupe, à se qualifier pour le 32e.
Oui, mais Canon ne joue pas Sinodev. Sinodev dit joue Renaissance de Ngumo.
My own analysis on this tournament, as the coach has said, is that all those regional teams,
watch out for that.
It will be difficult for them to pass to the second, to the next round. Let me say, because in the west region, the championship has started there, and it will not be amazing to see that teams such as Sable will go far to the championship, but the other region, you will see that in Gaoundere,
Sable will go far at the detriment of Union.
But they can win Union.
Okay, but we'll get to that.
There is a good organization put in place.
We'll get to that.
Reserve, Volcan, they are still that are performing very well on their championship. But maybe it remains only 2 games or 3 for their championship to get over. But in another region of Cameroon, there's no championship.
No, that's true. The Southwest region have, match day 5. They played it last weekend. So to tell you they're back. Been playing the Southwest Regional League.
Match day 5, but compared to the person that to the team that is almost done for their championship, you see, it will be quite difficult for them to perform very well. But it's not football. The logic is football that there's no logic.
Oh, the logic in football is that there's no logic. Okay, just last words from you, Magdala, on this talented FA, because I remember best stars actually whitewashed them in the Southwest Regional League, but they've picked up now, and funny enough, they didn't really qualify for the Cup of Cameroon because Legend actually defeated them.
But not very impressive so far. They've not been very impressive.
So can they be impressive against Canon?
Talented qualified as best losers in the Southwest region. Remember, the regions were supposed to have 2 slots, but because we had some clubs who were suspended because they did not participate in the last edition, they had to allocate 3 sports for them, and that is why they decided, Talented did not play any match to qualify. They decided to take the best losers, and Talented was beaten, so honestly, it's really going to be a challenging one because we are talking about a best loser going to face the most experienced team as far as this competition is concerned, and the team who has won it the most number of times more than any other team.
Cote d'Ivoire best loser defeated, title holder Senegal.
Not in Cameroon. Not in Cameroon.
Not in Cameroon. Come.
This one, please. Let's here. Okay, it's very
difficult.
The chance is very slim. A very slim chance against Canon. The fact that Canon has performed poorly in the playoffs, Canon perform very poorly does not mean that Canon is really going to let themselves being beaten by a team like that. We know that Talented can be motivated. They can look at, I am tempted to say this is the story of David and Goliath.
Donc quand on dit quand moi par exemple, je dis que le Canon ne fait plus peur, c'est pas que c'est talent de quoi là?
Talented
de Moluka. Non, c'est pas quand même une équipe comme ça qui va venir battre le Canon. C'est vrai que la Coupe du Cameroun a beaucoup de suppression si on se refait à ce que Stade a fait l'année dernière. N'oubliez pas qu'à l'Ouest, on fait un effort pour que leur championnat régional commence à temps soit bien. Vous allez voir, il y a une équipe comme Rizier qui performe, qui peut être il y a les Volcans, qui peut être, ils sont presque à la fin. Ils sont presque à la fin. Donc ils ont des équipes, ce championnat a des équipes qui peuvent surprendre en Coupe du Cameroun. Et nous qui suivons un peu l'actualité, personnellement, nous ne serons pas surpris parce que nous suivons l'actualité, nous avons les informations sur les performances de ces équipes.
Et la qualité du match aussi.
Tout ça. Et il y a l'équipe de Rizier a un très bon effectif qui peut challenger avec les meilleures équipes de l'Itou. Ne soyez pas surpris, avec les meilleures équipes de l'Itou. Une équipe de l'Itou qui n'est pas bien préparée rencontre Rizier va la battre.
Because moi, je viens du Sud-Ouest, mais let's call it spade a spade. Honestly, they stand a very slim chance against Canon Sportif of Yaoundé. I think that the other person who can even fare mieux against Renaissance is Signodef. Et Aïssou Saochi joue maintenant une équipe qui aussi vient du Sud-Ouest, donc...
It's going to be an interesting encounter. That's, one thing that is sure. To see Talented, the first time in this phase, even if they do not make it past the grind of 32, it's already an achievement, and they're going to pick up the vital lessons, and you watch out for Talented this season and next season. Well, let's talk about Coton Sport Garoua, just some news before we move to another match. Well, at the Bedouin Municipal Stadium, just to announce, the winner between Kanong and Talented FA will meet with either Gazelle or the 5th representative from the center region. Now, away from that, the Bedouin Municipal Stadium will host Coton Sport Garoua against Ipevie Eboloa at 3:30, where the Cotonais left for Bedouin Monday, eliminated by a Ding Sport 2-1 in the 8 finals last season edition. Daniel Bread and team are out for redemption after missing out of the championship title. Like you can see on your screens, images of them moving over to Eboloa. Now, let's come to the Southwest Regional derby between Legend Football Academy and Ice of Hopes Academy. Legend is making it to the round of 32 of the Cup of Cameroon for the very first time. Yeah, they qualified by defeating, the likes of, Kumba Lakers, Kumba City, talk about Talented FA as well. So yes, they are off to the round of 32 for the very first time. And unfortunately or fortunately for them, they are meeting with Ice of Hopes Academy of Limbe. This game was scheduled at the Monikil Stadium, has been pushed to the Middle Farm Stadium in Limbe at 3:30. So that's where the game will unfold. And the news reaching us is Legend Football Academy, because it's their first time qualifying, has made a provision, a bus that will pick up every fan from Kumba to Limbe to support Legend against Ice of Hopes Academy. Pickup point is at 9 a.m.
The game has been scheduled at the Moliko Municipal Stadium.
It was Moliko. Okay, has it gone back there?
To the Moliko Municipal Stadium.
Oh, okay, because I saw a flyer this afternoon and it says it has gone to the Middle Farms. So I'm guessing, yes, it was Moliko Stadium, but now they have pushed it to the Middle Farm Stadium in Limbe. Well, I want us to get this report that sums up Legend Football Academy's training ahead of that encounter.
The Kumba City College field has been a hive of activity, serving as a training hub for the extinct Legend Football Academy of Kumba. The team is diligently sharpening their skills in preparation for their upcoming encounter against Isosa at the Moliko Stadium this Wednesday. The match, scheduled to kick off at 3:30 p.m., marks a significant milestone for the academy as it's their inaugural match in this prestigious competition, having achieved their first ever qualification to the round of 32. Under the seasoned leadership of Coach Carlos Nge, the former PWD of Kumba tactician, the team is cognizant of the formidable challenge posed by the elite second-tier team Ice of Hopes Academy. Nevertheless, they are undeterred and ready to rise to the occasion.
We have a lot of respect for Isosa. It's a big club. We know the brilliant qualification of Isosa. We have a lot of respect for them. But we will do our best. We'll do our best. We'll leave no stone unturned. We'll leave no stone unturned. We'll respect them. And if we have means of penetrating, we'll penetrate. We'll do our best. We will not just be. We know we are the underdogs. But we'll try to push them also to the world.
As the pride of the division, Legend Football Academy is poised to represent the Meme division with valor and distinction.
You know, the first time of this team qualifying for the 32 finals for the Cup of Cameroon, I think it's a pride. It's a pride to us, the players, coaches, and the Meme people in general. We just hope that we will do our best to see that we come out victorious, at least play the 16 finals of the Cup of Cameroon.
Boosted by a recent 1-0 victory over Kumba Lakers in the Southwest Regional League last Sunday, the team is brimming with confidence and looks to channel this triumph into further motivation.
Against Kumba Lakers, to play again at Isusa was a moral booster to the players. To know that at least coming from a win, we need to win. But we are meeting a side that is more experienced than us, a side that has played elite football. We know how we need to target them. We'll do our best. We need to put everything. That's why you see us training this morning, to put everything to see that at least we should give Asosa also what we are capable of.
Anticipation is mounting as the game is expected to be a thrilling spectacle, drawing in scores of football enthusiasts eager to witness the electric atmosphere.
Well, it's going to be an interesting one, and like I mentioned, Legend Football Academy has put at the disposal of fans a bus that will transport them to the Middle Farm Stadium tomorrow. Pick up at 9 a.m. Game at 3:30 p.m. Two teams you're familiar with, Ayong Magdala. Just one word. What do you see winning this very, very interesting game?
Even the coach,
match, no, coach.
Even the coach has said,
oui, de la région.
They are playing their brother club.
Yes.
So even the coach said it there that they acknowledge the fact that Isosa is one that has played elite football. But I tell you what, Legend can pull a surprise tomorrow. Legend can pull the surprise tomorrow if Isosa is not careful. But everything being equal, if we have to look at the statistics, if we have to weigh the two and put it together, please, let's go with Isosa. Isosa. Okay. Isosa is favorite, but then, like I said, Legend can pull a surprise tomorrow if Isosa is not careful.
Coach Jules Abba de Canon avait dit que on va jouer Talented. Comprendre d'abord le nom, Talented, c'est ce qu'il a dit. Donc ils vont jouer les jeunes. Qui sont les légendes? If it has anything to, if it means anything. Well, let's move away from Legend Football Academy and Ice of Hopes Academy. We talk about Sable de Batier
and Union Sportif of Union Sportif of Douala. Well, this game is scheduled for Saturday in Yaoundé, and Union has been preparing for this very decisive clash. Well, they have been training at the Camrai Stadium, and this morning we were at the training session to see how they have been training. Well, this report actually gives us a preview of that encounter. Present at the Camrai Stadium this Tuesday morning, Union Sportif of Douala is honing its skills for the upcoming Cup of Cameroon clash against Sable de Batier. The eagerly anticipated match is set for Saturday, May 18 at the Reunification Annex 1 Stadium in Yaoundé, kicking off at 3:30 p.m. Fresh from a stellar playoff performance in Yaoundé, where Union finished at the top with only one loss in 10 matches, the team is determined to extend their winning streak against the formidable Sable de Batier. With rigorous training sessions on the way since their return, Union is poised to depart for Yaoundé shortly. The club boasts a rich history, with 6 Cup of Cameroon titles adorning their trophy cabinet, the most recent being in 2006, following a narrow 1-0 victory over Fovu of Baham. On the other side, Sable de Batier has been making waves in the West Regional League with a formidable offensive lineup, netting an impressive 14 goals across just 2 matches. Recently, they dominated Fusée FC with an 8-0 victory, featuring a hat-trick from forward Fortier Frank and a double each from Miyaka and Bile, hot on the heels of a 6-0 triumph over Espoir FC. Established in 1995 in Batier, the club has twice been the runner-up in the Cup of Cameroon in 2002 and in 2003. As they eye their maiden Cup of Cameroon title, they also aim for promotion in Elite 2. Notably, Sable de Batier holds the distinction of being the first Cameroonian team to advance to the group stage of the CAF Champions League. Their upcoming match promises to be a showcase of their ambition and talent.
It promises to be a showcase of the ambition and talent. That's clear. I mean, a fact that has been established. You look at this game, Luca, how do you foresee this encounter?
You know, Sable against Union of Douala has always been a top match in Cameroon. The classic or a derby that has been played in Cameroon. You said, I made a report, you know, Sable has won the Cameroon Cup twice, 2002 and 2003.
They were actually finalists.
Yes,
finalists.
I still remember the final, Sable de Batier maybe against Sintra of Yaoundé in 2002. We usually see myself, that was the final. And when we talk about Sable de Batier, I can greet one of the supporters of the team, Ganou, the boxer athlete who used to we are giving all the support to the team, and today the team is playing the barrage to access to come back to the League 2. You know, Sable has been relegated because of many things of organization, money. There were no money to pay the salaries of the players, and they will face Union that played the championship, and they won. They lost the last match. That was the match that was lost. That has been lost has cost them their playoff up, because if they won Dinamo at that time, they would have played the
playoff up.
But when they went to the playoff down, they succeeded at being the top of the team. You know, and today we can say that Sable has players who are confident, and Union has players who are confident. That will be a top match, and the shock that I can get is that the match is playing to Yaoundé. I hope if the match was in Douala, I would have been there to watch that derby that has been lost, that Cameroonian has not been seeing
in a long while.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's listen to Coach Dumbebo. So he talked about how, you know, if Union beats Sable de Batier, it's a normal thing. But Sable de Batier beating Union will be at one for the books. Well, let's go listen to him.
Match très important au vu de la position qu'occupe notre adversaire dans son championnat régional de l'Ouest. Nous avons une idée véritable et nous nous préparons en conséquence. Nous faisons un effort pour garder l'esprit que nous avons eu à la fin des playdowns auxquels nous venons de participer à Yaoundé. Nous avons mis un accent véritable sur le côté présence physique et psychologique sur le terrain. Donc vous comprenez que ce n'est pas facile de rencontrer les équipes de la région. Parce que c'est des équipes qui ont beaucoup de surprises. Alors, nous avons préparé surtout le moral, parce que c'est des gens qui sont imprévisibles. Et vous ne pouvez pas imaginer qu'on dise que Sable de Bâti a battu Union de Douala. Ça va faire le tour du monde. Mais par contre, si c'est l'Union qui bat Sable de Bâti, c'est un peu comme normal, parce que l'Union est à 2 degrés au-dessus de Sable de Bâti. Néanmoins, nous prenons les précautions et nous mettons, n'est-ce pas, tous les garde-fous possibles que la surprise ne soit pas désagréable. Vous savez, c'est souvent les débuts qui sont très difficiles. À partir du moment où on a franchi le premier palier, nous allons, n'est-ce pas, revoir les ambitions et certainement discuter avec l'administration. L'ambition première, c'est l'administration et nous, on n'est que les auxiliaires. Nous appliquons exactement ce dont l'administration a besoin.
Sable de Bâti.
Yes. C'est l'administration qui est la clé. C'est le pilote de l'équipe. L'entraîneur suit seulement ce que
l'administration
définit comme ambition.
Ok.
C'est dans ça que l'entraîneur maintenant travaille.
Ok. Sable de Bâti Union, Tanon, le match?
Bon, moi, pour ma part, je pense que mon dernier match contre l'Union, je vais me baser sur ce que je connais, sur ce que j'ai vu, sur ce que j'ai vécu avec l'Union au stade.
Oui.
Je pense qu'on a joué contre l'Union, parce que moi, j'entendais toujours Union a fait nul, Union a gagné, Union n'a pas encore perdu. Je me demandais mais qu'est-ce qu'Union fait vraiment pour ne pas perdre de match? C'est le match contre eux, je crois, avant 20 minutes, on a mené 2-0. Et ils avaient un carton rouge.
Oui.
Nous sommes allés à la mi-temps, à 2-0. Quand on est revenu en deuxième mi-temps, ils nous jouaient comme si c'était ma 13. Étant 10 contre 11, ils nous ont montré. Moi, personnellement, je pense que l'Union est l'une des équipes. Je ne sais pas, mais au vu de ce que je vois, avec aussi les connaissances que j'ai là-bas, l'une des équipes qui est quand même un peu stable.
Un peu stable? Tu sais qu'ils n'ont pas voyagé le jour, ils ont voyagé le matin.
J'ai des amis à l'Union.
On a déjà réglé, ok.
Et ce que je vois aussi un peu sur le stade, vous allez voir le play-off l'Union était bien. La seule défaite de l'Union, je pense que c'est nous qui avons donné à l'Union 2.
Mais c'était la seule défaite.
Et c'était difficile. Il a fallu que j'arrête un penalty, il a fallu que je fasse des arrêts. Jusque-là, quand le match est fini, j'ai dit les gars, je comprends pourquoi vous n'avez pas encore perdu le match. Donc je pense que Sable va bien faire sur ce qu'ils vont faire. Je pense que l'Union est sur une très bonne lancée.
Well, it's going to be an interesting encounter, coach. Moi, sur ce rencontre.
Donc moi, je pense que ce qui peut aider certains divisionnaires, comme je l'ai dit d'entrée de jeu, lorsque la Coupe du Cameroun se joue après le championnat, il y a des équipes qui sont démotivées. Je crois que c'est à partir de là que certaines équipes peuvent surprendre ces équipes d'élite-là. Donc les divisionnaires pourront surprendre les équipes qui seront démotivées parce que ce n'est plus tout le monde qui a cet engouement de cette... Il y a les équipes qui n'ont... Il y a les équipes qui ont repris, il y a les équipes d'élite, tout que je connais, qui ont repris seulement les entraînements aujourd'hui. Tout le monde était en congé. Donc les équipes comme ça peuvent se faire éliminer par les divisionnaires, pas parce que ces divisionnaires-là auront été forts, mais je pense que tout simplement parce que, comme je le dis encore, la Coupe du Cameroun, lorsqu'elle se joue après le championnat, perd sa saveur, perd son engouement, différemment de lorsqu'elle est insérée entre les matchs du championnat. Les matchs sont plus enlevés, les gens sont motivés, les joueurs sont en jambes. On est en train de jouer la Coupe du Cameroun, pendant laquelle plusieurs équipes sortent du repos. Vous allez voir, à l'allumage, beaucoup d'équipes d'élite vont avoir des problèmes. Beaucoup d'équipes, celles qui pourront tirer leur épingle du jeu, vont commencer à se régler en avançant. Mais celles qui auront la malchance de tomber sur les bonnes équipes des régions bien organisés, vont être éliminés.
Coach, le problème aussi, c'est que le problème dépend de l'organisation du football au Cameroun. Aller dans les régions, les championnats se jouent pas à cause des licences. Certaines équipes ont été même qualifiées par le fait que les adversaires n'aient pas de licence. Donc, avec ce que vous dites là, c'est normal. Regardez aussi que lors des finales, on attend longtemps. Regardez Fouvou qui gagne la finale de la Coupe du Cameroun l'année dernière. Ce n'est pas les joueurs qui ont qualifié Fouvou pour la finale.
Même PWG a perdu beaucoup de...
La Coupe du Cameroun, la finale dépend beaucoup plus du cabinet civil. Ça ne dépend plus de la FECAFOOT, de l'organisateur. Donc c'est pour cela que ça peut poser un problème de retard. Mais pendant les phases préliminaires jusqu'à la finale, moi c'est là où le problème se pose.
Il faut que à la fédération,
si on ne revient pas à la formule d'insérer, ça veut dire que la Coupe du Cameroun entre les mains du championnat, je dis ça va perdre cet enjeu. Ça va perdre ça.
Il faudrait que les employeurs de la fédération se bousculent dans le processus d'établissement des licences aussi.
Regardez un peu les équipes regardez un peu une équipe comme Léopard qui est reléguée en région. Comment Léopard va faire pour regrouper les joueurs? Léopard va se retrouver peut-être avec 11 ou 12 joueurs. Léopard sera éliminé. Ce n'est pas parce que son adversaire sera fort, mais c'est tout simplement parce que cette place cette période pendant laquelle la Coupe du Cameroun se joue n'est pas une bonne période. Ce n'est pas propice, ce n'est pas une bonne période. Moi, je trouve que ça perd son ampleur.
Okay,
Son ampleur.
Thank you so much, Coach, for that insight. Thank you so much to everybody that has graced the platform today. Remember, the Cup of Cameroon starts tomorrow. Centre d'excellence de la cave de Bankomo, ASFAB, Caïman de Douala at 3 o'clock. Les Astres against Real FC of Garoua at the Municipal Stadium, 1:30. 3:30, Coton Sport Garoua and Epivier de Boloa at the Bepanda Next Stadium. 1:30, Renaissance de Ngumo against Senior Dev de Boya. 3:30, Canon Sportif against Talented FA at the Moliko Stadium of Boya, the Middle Farm Stadium. We will have Isosa of Limbe against Legend Football Academy of Akumba. And on Thursday, Municipal Stadium, the Beto Municipal Stadium, we have Léopard Sportif against Krimi FC of Garoua, Tone Kalara Club against Marwa FC. On Friday, Panthère Sportif d'Undé against Sportif FC de Marwa, Avion Academy du Cam and Sahel FC de Marwa. And on Saturday, Colombe against Eding, Union against Sable de Batier, and another game at the Municipal Stadium, the Melong Municipal Stadium, Foncha Street against Siso FC de Kribi, Bafmen against Botafogo, and the Municipal Stadium. Well, I think that's it. Ego of the Menu against the first team from the Adabawa region. Well, that's it. Do have a wonderful time. Thank you so much, Tadon Sisono. Merci beaucoup, Coach.
Merci, Oni. C'est le plaisir toujours pour moi de partager sur ce panel avec le terrible Lucas qui est fortement bilingue. J'ai découvert aujourd'hui.
Oui.
Et le plus beau juste, c'est comme on parle de foot avec deux femmes qui...
Ok, merci beaucoup Lucas. Merci.